If you've ever looked down at your smartwatch and seen a heart rate number, it feels almost magical. No needles, no chest strap, just a little green light flashing under your wrist, like it's reading your body's secrets. But it's not magic. It's a clever optical trick that turns your skin into a sensor. Most smartwatches measure heart rate using a method called photoplethysmography, or PPG. The basic idea is simple. Shine light into your skin, measure how much light comes back, and look for a rhythm that matches your pulse. Many watches use green LEDs because blood absorbs green light strongly, making pulse changes easier to detect at the wrist. Apple describes this directly. Green LEDs and light-o-sensitive photodiodes detect changing blood flow as your heart beats. Here's what's physically happening. On the back of your watch, there are tiny lights and tiny light sensors. The lights send pulses of green light into the skin. Some of that light gets absorbed, and some bounces back. Your blood volume in the small vessels near your skin changes slightly with every heartbeat. When your heart pumps, more blood passes through the wrist. More blood means more absorption, so less light returns to the sensor. Between beats, blood volume drops, absorption decreases, and more light returns. That rising and falling pattern is your pulse signal. Now the watch has to turn that wavy light signal into a number. It does this by sampling the signal many times, looking for repeating peaks and calculating beats per minute from the timing between peaks. Apple notes that its watch flashes LEDs rapidly to calculate heartbeats per minute, which is the same core concept across most PPG watches. So why do you sometimes see green lights and other times you don't? Because the watch doesn't need to blast light constantly in normal mode. Many watches measure periodically in the background, then measure more often during workouts. When you start running, your body moves more, your heart rate changes faster, and the watch needs more data to keep up. That's why workout mode usually triggers more frequent sensing. But if it's just light, why aren't smartwatch heart rates perfect? Because the wrist is a messy place to measure. The watch is not directly touching an artery like a medical sensor would. It's trying to read tiny blood volume changes through skin, fat, hair, and motion. Movement is the biggest enemy. Every time your wrist flexes, the sensor can shift slightly, letting in outside light or changing pressure. That noise can trick the algorithm, especially during intense exercise. Garmin's own guidance emphasizes fit and contact. The watch should be snug enough that it doesn't move around, because movement reduces accuracy. Another issue is signal quality. If the strap is too loose, the light leaks. If it's too tight, it can restrict blood flow and also distort readings. Sweat, temperature, and even how cold your skin is can change circulation at the wrist. That's why you may get a weird reading when you're freezing outside, then a stable reading indoors. Some watches also use different colors of light for different jobs. Green is great for pulse detection because of how it interacts with blood, but infrared is often used for other measurements or for different skin conditions. Apple notes the use of infrared and green LEDs in its optical heart sensor design, paired with photodiodes. Now, here's the important part. What your watch measures is pulse rate, and it estimates heart rate from that pulse signal. Most of the time, those match very closely. But there are situations where the pulse signal can become messy or delayed compared to the heart's electrical activity. That's one reason chest straps can still be more reliable for athletes. They measure the heart's electrical signal directly, not blood flow changes. Garmin explains this difference by describing optical wrist sensors as PPG and contrasting them with strap-based electrical measurement in its support materials. So how do you get the most accurate heart rate from your smartwatch? Wear it a little higher than the wrist bone, keep it snug, and for workouts, let it warm up on your skin for a minute so circulation stabilizes. If you're doing high motion activities, expect more errors. And if you need medical-grade accuracy, treat the watch as a helpful tool, not a diagnostic device. That's the real secret. Your smartwatch isn't seeing your heart. It's watching how light changes as blood pulses through your wrist, then using math to turn that into a heartbeat number. Simple, clever, and surprisingly effective when you wear it right.